Hey there everybody, Pop on Top here. Welcome back to some more Fallout 4 mods. In today's mod, we got a weapon mod here. This is referred to as a security SMG. So the security SMG has some cool unique features. It can fire in burst fire mode, that's the big one. But this weapon is added to the level list, so you can't craft it for yourself or do anything like that. It doesn't show up at the chem station like conveniently. So I have Sheffield here.
I'm looking for weapons.
Who sells me guns. So after I downloaded the mod, I waited, or slept 24 hours, and then it showed up in his inventory. I have two more here. I bought one. It shoots a 10mm ammunition by default, 42 damage. That's pretty high. It does look very much like what you would think the 10mm SMG would look like, right? From, like, if you up-res that stuff from Fallout 3, Fallout New Vegas and stuff, you'd have this gun here. Even the ring sight looks very similar. But we already have it in default mode, which is burst fire. It's a burst fire gun. I mean, like, this is not the first burst fire gun I've ever seen, but it is something that's not common in terms of modded weapons. Not a lot of guns fire burst fire. So this fire is 3 rounds burst. It actually works correctly too there, because it's technically a 16-round meg there, as you see. So that would be 5 bursts and then 1 last bullet. And we see that it actually, when we get down here to the bottom burst, shoots 1. But I messed it up, because the thing about it here is it's like hyperbur. You could, like, just spam, like, it's pretty much full auto if you wanted to be full auto. Like, you just, as long as you're tapping that trigger fast enough, it'll shoot the next burst as soon as it can, which is very quickly. The burst delay is practically non-existent. So let's take a look at this weapon workbench here. Obviously, you can make it semi-auto and auto as well, which is interesting. Let's see here. We have rapid automatic receiver, powerful auto receiver, auto. So all these are automatic receivers. Advanced burst receiver. I think the burst is probably just the best way to go here. I can't think of a reason why you'd want to do anything else. This is the advanced semi, which is the best damage per bullet, and it's still 115 rate of fire, which is actually faster than the burst. I just want to see that then. Let's test that out here. Obviously, a short barrel, but makeshift barrel. Improves hipfire accuracy, but it's worse range. We just want long ported barrel, right? You don't want the long barrel. You want like a stock on there, right? There's no reason why you'd want to have some makeshift stock, right? I guess why does the folded stock give it the most range? It like reduces range to put any of the other stocks on here. That's really weird. But it increases accuracy by a lot. Like this goes all the way up to 73 at the full stock. But it goes lower at the marksman stock. So I guess the full stock would be really, I like the wood grain though. The small magazine, 16. So we'll go medium for now to see what each of these magazines are. We got glow sights, 10mm reflex sights, so just like the 10mm pistol. West Tech reflex sight, West Tech hollow sight, West Tech marksman sight, laser sight. So the cool laser sight thing, I do like the laser sights on some of my guns here. You can suppress it or not, right? And then you can put no paint job. You can make it black, gunner, raider, vault tech, and warlord. I like that warlord look a little bit, but you know it's cool that there's at least some customization, because I know some of y'all care about that. So the laser sight thing is cool. It is very fast. That's very fast. That's extremely. I'm going to try to show you with my finger, okay? Because like, this is my finger on my controller. We could go really quick. Like that. I mean, obviously the recoil kicked up, and there's no way I can control it and shoot it that quick. I have fast fingers. So that's plenty quick. Even with a semi-auto receiver, it's an interesting thing. And we already go all the way up to 28 with a medium mag, which is an interesting thing too. So, let's take a look at this and then do some other things with it. So, let's say like we just make it as automatic. I mean, let's do rapid just to make it as fast as possible. Obviously, that's not probably good for damage. We got large magazine. Let's see what that is. And then we'll put a different sight on there. Obviously, we have the laser sight. It's kind of an interesting thing. I'm a big glow sights person, but obviously, you'd probably want like a marksman sight, to be fair, to get maximum. Well, not with the automatic receiver, but we'll put it on there anyway. So, like, that's ugly, though. That's awful. Awful. This is a bad sight. No one should use this. I fundamentally... We got 40 rounds now, though, just to be clear. And it's very fast. I can control the recoil, but it is recoiling. I promise you. I'll show you, okay? Like... It's not that hard of recoil, though. Like, I'm not pulling down that hard. It is very much... I'll need a little bit. But this is obviously the fastest fire rate receiver. The sight is ugly, though. Don't put that... I mean, even though it is technically the best accuracy and stuff. Let's put a hollow sight on there. Let's try that. And then we'll go... I really want to use the burst receivers, though. That's like the whole thing for me. Which is says it's 4-6 fire rate, but it feels faster than that. So let's take a look at this hollow sight. Still ugly. That reticle's too big. Like... It's too big, okay? Like... It shoots plenty quick. That's like super... I mean, I feel like that's almost even faster. Dumping of 40 rounds. Maybe it's because of the way burst fire works and all that stuff, but like you can really... And then the recoil's great. Like you have to pull down. I am pulling down. Here's the recoil without. you can't. It is going up. It's probably going up even more than the auto receiver, but like sights are ugly, man. Ugly sights. And some people get mad at me for being negative, but I think it's ugly. I wouldn't use it. The Restec reflex sight. It's gonna have an ugly reticle again, isn't it? I mean, that dot's okay. This is a clean looking sight. I mean, I could at least use that. That makes sense. The dot's still too big. It's like low resolution or something, right? Like it's just like taking up too much space. Obviously, you have the default 10mm reflex sight, which is just like the base game. Nope, it's except for it's got the fucking ugly reticle. Why you got such ugly, hard to see through things? I hate that. Glow sights it is then, or laser sight really. Glow sights though. You can't muck that up, right? Yeah, like this. I mean, the regular default sights, especially for being an SMG, which is traditionally a close-range weapon, are going to do just fine. This is good. This makes me happy. Texture quality does look nice on everything that's not the literal reticles, right? So if we look at this wood grain here, kind of close to my character, like the bottom of the screen there, looks very clean, nice looking. The metal parts look very, you know, metal, and the wood looks wood. The sights are okay. Like I just the laser sight's cool. I love that. That's a DAC thing, right? All his guns. I'm gonna put the laser sight on there because it does increase accuracy for VATS. We'll make it suppressed just to see what that sounds like, and we'll change the paint job just to say we did. Obviously, I think I'm gonna go black just to see what it looks like. Obviously, default is fine too. I don't need suppress. It sounds good. It does sound good, and then suppressors do supposed to help with recoil, right? You can see my damage measuring target that I'm measuring the damage. If you put a full burst in somebody, that's 2,692 damage. That's a lot of fucking damage. So, we're going to test the weapon out like this. This is how I'd probably use it. I mean, it's an SMG. You kind of want to hit fire it anyway. But I'm going to just, like, see how fast I can kill things with the burst. How many bursts I got to put into people for them to die and stuff like that. But it is a cool gun because it's burst. The sights suck. Like, every one of those reflex, hollow sights, whatever you want to call them, whatever they're called, suck. They all suck. They're bad. Laser sight's cool. Hyper burst, just zero burst delay, right? Because like most modern military shooters, your Call of Duties, your Battlefields have a burst delay. So like in the sense of you shoot a burst, like even if you press the trigger again, it takes a second before, or whatever, how much time. It's probably not even a full second, but like a half a second, whatever it is, before you can fire another burst. This doesn't seem to have that. As long as I am tapping the trigger, another burst will come out until it's completely empty mag. I guess we didn't show off the biggest mag, though. I guess we should do that before we get into some combat, which is obviously the way you'd want to do it. Right? There's no reason, I mean, besides weight, I guess, if you're playing survival mode, because it does, I mean, it's a 0.7 pounds. I bet it's worth it to get 54 round drum mag on here. Now, you could really put 54 rounds out. That look broken? Yeah, you like grab. That's gross. I don't like that. Why you did that? Like you grab it wrong. Like you put your hand straight through it. That's gross, man. I gotta call shit out though, man. I gotta be that person though. But I can't just sit here, be covering mods since forever. Right? Like I almost have 1,000 mod videos on my channel. Maybe do by now. And then be the person that's like, it's okay that you grabbed the mag incorrectly. You just can't. Like there's too many other good guns. That looks fine. It's not perfect, but it looks fine. So we need a regular mag. Even though none of these mags have a multiplier of 3 to be a mag. So 54, you're going to always have some kind of weird burst thing. 40, you're going to have some weird burst thing. I forget what the one before this was. 16, you have a weird burst thing. It's weird. But I'm going to go test it out in some combat. Let's see how this burst fire rate kind of spamminess works. And I'll see you guys when we get there. Alright, everybody. We are pulling up here on my Zombies Arena arcade mode. Let's just hop right into it. And let's see how this burst does. I want to see what I'm going to shoot. I got to have something toughish to shoot, I think. Let's go to the USAF Satellite Station in Libya today. Just because I go to the Super Duper Mart all the time. And we'll start the game with some mutants. Why not? Super mutant big boys should be pretty tanky. Should tank some of these shots. Anyway, right? I do hear one. They're above me? You're all... No, you're right here. You're literally spawning right here. One burst. Okay. So that's... I mean, that's clean. I like that a lot. Obviously, we're not sneaking at all, even though I did put a suppressor on the gun. One burst them? One burst them? Like, so as much as you can spam those bursts, but I don't know if there's a situation where you'd need to. At the highest level burst receiver, you are doing plenty of damage. That was a legendary, and he still got one bursted. And as you show, when you're in close range here, you really don't need to aim down sight. It's not really aiming down sight anyway, right? I guess it's more like, you know. But it's 10mm rounds. It's a good 10mm SMG. And there's nothing you know, horrible about it. I'm gonna buy some more 10mm ammo because I can. You get 100 bottle caps per round, you can buy more ammo. But it is. I like the burst fire. I think that's a very cool feature. I think the sights need to be improved. You just can't be like that's good enough, because it isn't. It's not good enough. It's not good enough. Let's play indeed. I mean, I did even cripple. I don't know if you guys saw that. It probably went by pretty quick for you, but I did essentially half damage one. That's the cool thing about burst fires. You can kind of, if you spray it over people. That one didn't get one bursted, right? Because I was trying to move my aim over them so I could hit multiple targets with one burst. Yep, super scared. You're dead. That was not a sneak attack critical, but it's still super dead. I mean, at close range here, like an SMG should be, it's doing wonderful. It's a good gun. I like this gun. Like, you're one bursting people. The burst, I think, is just the right amount of bullets, too, because it becomes a situation where, like, if I wasn't bursting, I don't think I'd one-shot them. If I was full auto, I'd probably overshoot bullets. That's the whole idea of the burst fire gun, right? Is that it's just the right amount of stopping power to stop things, and it is that with this SMG. Now, with your one burst potential, I'm not sure how that's going to work in VATS. We should have showed that off. I guess we got to hop back in here, because I didn't even think about that. Because that's the thing. Okay, so in VATS, when you're shooting a semi-auto gun, you shoot one bullet per VATS action, right? With an automatic gun, you shoot bursts, right? Of 3 bullets. That's just automatically with an automatic gun. So I have to test out VATS here. Should probably do some third person too. So it shoots one shot. It's essentially treated as semi-auto, which makes the weapon not very effective in VATS. Because I needed to shoot twice there, right? And it's not. That wasn't extremely cheap in terms of my AP, and I have like maximum AP, maximum agility, all that stuff. We'll do some third-person shooting here, even though we do have the laser sight. So it's essentially functionally the same thing in first person. But yeah, why would you not do that instead, right? Like, that just makes way more sense to me. I don't know why I shot twice. I literally hit the trigger once there. There's probably definitely some bugs with it. There's more over there, though. Let me reload it just because I have reload problem. Yeah, that shot a lot of burst. So it's definitely buggy. I definitely hit the trigger one time. I'm being very careful to do that. And that legendary enemy mutated and died, though. That's the cool thing about it, I guess, too. A nocturnal combat shotgun. That is a cool thing about it, too, is that burst will have that effect on legendary enemies, right? Where you hit them with that first shot, and it gets them down to mutate, and then the next 2 shots hit or whatever, and the boot is dead, right? Like, that's kind of a concept of the way that it could work. It's an interesting gun. I definitely think the security SMG has some cool things to it. It's essentially the 10mm SMG with a cool burst fire mode. But the burst fire mode is cool. Is it buggy? Kinda. But is it awesome? Yeah. The sights suck, though. The laser sight's cool, though. And then you can just hip fire because it's an SMG, and that's kind of how SMGs work. You guys let me know what you think of the security SMG down in the comment section down below. If you guys want to check out this mod for yourselves, make sure to check out the top link in the description that we link there to the Bethesda.net page and the Nexus mod page so you can download this mod for yourselves there. If you guys have enjoyed the video, like the video. If you guys are new to my channel and you haven't yet already, make sure to subscribe that we can check out more videos from me. And pretty much other than that, you guys have a good rest of your day, whatever it may be, and I'll see you in the next episode.